remember, please, if you remember, the instructions which we covered last time were JNP and JCC. These are the two program control instructions which we discussed a week ago. This one, JNP, is unconditional jump. That means there is no calculation. The processor has to take jump. So there is no calculation, so obviously there is no effect on the flag. But here, CC means condition, so obviously whatever the condition, which means there has to be a calculation for that condition, check. And the flex will be affected. So unconditional jump, conditional jump, these were the ones which we discussed last time. Today we will continue and see some other instructions, and this one is loop and loop CC. Purpose is the same. You can compare loop with jump. So loop is unconditional. Whenever we use the loop instruction, it will be unconditional like JMP here. But if you want to use any condition, then we have to add condition with the loop, right? But then why there are two? There is only the simplicity between this one. But you can it's up to you. You want to use JMP, you can use loop. It's up to the user. Okay. So I will show you the examples here. So you see here, loop is unconditional. There is no effect on the flex because there is no calculation. And then loop CC examples, loop if they are equal, continue the loop if the answer is 0, continue the loop if not equal, continue the loop if not 0. Okay, so obviously these are the examples. So in this case, the flex will be affected. I will show you the example here. What this small program is telling you. Illustration of the loop. You see the counter here, move 10 to CX, and then 3 lines of code. And we say here loop again. So obviously here is the again. So you see here loop again, same like we were using the jump. Similar thing. But what is the difference between the two? If they are not exactly same, they are similar. Purpose is the same, right? But their use has slight difference. Let me show it to you what is the difference between these two. Now this one is using J and Z. Okay? This counter is 10 hexa, small program, loop program, and decrement CX, and J and Z again, right? But here is the one. If I want to use a loop, but you see here in this loop, all the time counter is being decremented, right? In the loop. But if instead of J and Z, you want to use loop equivalent, like loop and Z, then there is no need of this decrement instruction because loop automatically decrements the counter. So let me show it to you how it is. It's like this one. Now you see exactly the same thing. When you say loop again, so it will be only doing 10x times, right? There is no need of decrementing the counter. Okay? So this is the difference between the two. Now, how about this one? You, in computer programming, do you remember loop within a loop?
Yes. Yeah.
What do we call it?
Nested loop.
Nested loop. That means within one loop, you also have the
Another.
same thing you see it here. Since there are two loops, smaller one inside the other one, you see the two counters. Outer counter, CX, another counter in AX. This is outer, J and Z outer, right? This is 1. Now inside J and Z inner, J and Z inner. Okay, you see here decrement AX, decrement. So for this one there is a separate counter, for this one there is a separate counter. So this can be used. Can we convert this one into loop? The only thing is we have to decrease the, remove the decrement instructions, right? Okay. Another example. What this program is doing, and there is a loop instruction. What this program is doing.
It's non-zero,
Look, let's go line by line. It says move 5 to DL, right? Then we say move A00 to AX and AX to DS. So obviously this value going to DS, this means we are initializing the base address because DS contains these two. DL has a value 5 and in DS we have the base address. Because DS is a segment register. Now what is the 0 to SR? What does it mean? Register SR has a 0 value, and where do we use these SR register? In arrays, right? Source. And then what is in CX? Counter, and it has a value D. Now what is happening in this loop? What is happening in this loop? What is the first one? SI. For the first time, what was the initial value of SI? 0. Then if we say increment SI, then SI becomes 1, right?
Yes.
And then what is the next instruction?
DL.
I'm doing compare, actually this one, right?
Yes.
With the value, which is 5.
Yes.
So I'm checking in this one, whatever the value in this memory with 5. And what is the compare instruction?
Just for equal.
Compare uses the subtraction, right?
Yes.
So it will subtract this value from this one. If it is, you see here, they are not equal, go to again and increment SI. So next time we'll be doing if they are not equal. Continue it, right? If they become equal, what will happen?
Stop.
We come out of the loop, right?
Yes.
If they are not equal all the time, how many times we'll be doing it? 0 D times, right? Because counter is, because I told you, that the counter is D in loop. When we use loop, there is no need of using decrement instruction inside, right? So loop automatically decrements, and once it becomes 0, it will automatically finish it. Okay? So what exactly now this program is doing? What will you say? Compare is technical word. What are you doing?
If one of the value of the array is 5, it will stop.
So what do you call this thing? Searching the value 5, right? I'm just looking for the common sentence, right? Searching the value of 5. If you know the memory has a value 5, it automatically stops, right? So we know that value 5 is there in the array. Okay, now here comes the, can you do this thing? What does it say? What does it say? It says modify this program, already given program, right? To search the value 1632, starting from memory address 0 until F. So how I will be changing it from the top? Start from the first one and tell me what will be the changes here. Shall I keep the first instruction or change it?
Change it.
What will I do here?
163205 and DX.
DX. So first one will be, since it is a word, instead of DL, we will use a bigger register. You can use any register, right? But full. Move DX 1632.
Okay.
This is the first instruction. Modify. What do I do with the second and third?
Same.
It will be the same. because this is just initializing the base address. And then AX goes to,
DS.
Yeah.
okay. What do we do with the fourth one?
Same.
Same.
Because 0, 0.
Do you agree, everybody?
Yes.
Move, because it says starting from
Zero.
0 to F, so 0 is okay, right?
Yes.
Move to SR
Zero.
0, right?
Yes.
What do we do now?
0.
CX.
What do we do?
Zero F.
Move CX 0D.
Zero.
Move CX, what do I do here?
0.
Zero.
0F. You have put a question mark. I'm telling you, you are telling me wrong, right? But still I'm writing it. Let me go Y, right? We'll discuss this thing Y. What is the next thing? Now the loop, right?
Yes.
We are searching for the value. Now, what will be in the loop? Shall we write increment SI or skip it?
No, we have to.
You should write.
We should write.
No, but not the increment. The increment by 2.
So hey, it should
Because
be
it's 2.
incremented because it's 2 bytes.
Okay, so what do I do?
Add.
2 times increment or add SI?
No,
It's
add is
either,
I2.
it's either we increment twice or we add 2.
Okay. Okay? This is one opinion. What do I do next?
Compare.
Compare. This is to be done, right?
Yes.
Because we are searching. Compare value
S
Is
I.
is I with
DX.
dx. And then
The same.
Then loop.
Loop.
loop
Not
not
equal again.
equal to,
Again.
and where is the again? Here.
Mm.
Now analyze this thing. What are the mistakes here?
Do we have to write 0, 0, 0 F for
Which one?
digits? 0, 0, 0 F for to be 4 digits.
Doesn't matter. You can only write F because to the left is no problem, right? Now, first analyze this one. What will happen when these 5 instructions is initialization, move instructions, right? If I go to the loop, what I'm going to do? 8 SI
0.
2, and what is the original value of SI?
0.
0. So this means I have it here from 2, right?
Yes.
And then next instruction, compare this value with it.
Yes.
Am I starting from 0? Because the question says start from 0. You're starting from 2, right? According to this one, we are starting from 2.
Okay, what about
What do I do? What is the change you are saying?
Comparison and
I increment twice.
But the same thing, A,
No,
SI 2.
I have to subtract. Like
Subtract
for-
from where?
I'll compare then I'll add.
Move the
I'll
compare.
compare then I'll add.
Move the compare.
Because if I do start from here, let me explain. Add SI02, SI original value is 0, and then with 2 it will be this one, right? And then we want to check with dx value. Now we want the first check starting from 0. So move this one, first compare, then you add the 2 value.
Sir, in this example, we start from 1.
This is what we did before, right? We were doing it from 1, right? We were doing it, that's why I erased it. It was there. If we just do it, see it, it starts from 1. So this one will be corrected as first compare SI, which means the first value is 0, then add okay. Are we done or still there is this question mark? What do I do with this question mark? Try to visualize what's happening, like I did it, right? First value 0, add 2, and comparing 2 with dx, right? Now in memory, we said 0 to f, right? 0, 1,
It will be odd.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, right? E, F. From 0 to F, right? This is a total one. Now, I am reading, I'm comparing with dx. This value. Is this value byte or word?
Byte.
I'm comparing byte with word?
Oh no, word.
Word with word, right? Because value is 1632. So this means we are looking for 2 bytes at a time. That's why we were saying add is I by 2. Every time I'm going, I'm jumping by 2. So how many times I'm doing it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, not F times. Because 0 to F is total 16, right? I'm reading 2 bytes at a time. So how many times I will be doing it?
8 times.
This is it.
But I already add 2.
Which is jump, right? I already did SI2, but what does it mean CX is equal to F?
It will repeat 16
It is a counter. Loop is not checking whether you are doing byte or word. Loop is just decrementing by 1 all the time. Okay? So how many times we are doing it? Counter has to be only 8 times because I'm checking only 8 times. From 0 to F, I find 8 words or 16 bytes. Since I'm comparing words, so there are only 8 words, right? That's why this counter has to be 8.
So why we did the second and the third line? Move AX and move DS.
Which one?
AX and DS.
This one?
Yes.
We are initializing the memory address from this one and we want to put it here. We learned in chapter 4, you cannot put immediate value in the segment register directly. First put into any register, then from that register to segment register. That's why we have 2 instructions. Is it clear here? Do you remember some instructions we have covered before here? C and D?
Yes.
You remember C and D? You remember C and D and STD?
Yes.
These are for direction flag. So obviously it tells you go up and down. It's control flow. But although we use them, but these are the program control instructions. Remember this LHF and SHF?
Yes.
These are also program control because we are only looking at the flags. Okay? Clear carry flag, set carry flag. Initializing carry flag. Either you want it 0 or starting from 1. Complementary carry flag. This one you will learn it last chapter. Clear interrupt flag, set interrupt flag. Like this direction, right? Clear and set. This is also clear and set. These are also program control instructions. Although we have seen some of them before. Okay, now so 6-2 section in the book we will not cover it. I'm just giving you the overview, what is the purpose of this section, 6-2 in the book. Now, the new books or new tools are available. They encourage that if you don't want to use loop and jump instructions, you find it hard to use, you can still use the C++ instructions in the assembly inside. And you have to only just put a dot before it, so the assembler will know these are the C++. Example, if I'm telling you, do you remember if?
Yes.
Now you can use if in assembly, but if you have to put
Dot.
dot, now you don't have to use jump instruction. What is this one?
Else.
Dot else. Same instruction, right? I can show you more. What is this one? Dot.
F.
If AL equal to
D.
0D, same instruction. So we just put it, so these are called dot instructions. So now assembler, whenever it will see dot in front of the instruction, it will call the C++ compiler to compile. So if you are not happy with using these jump and you know it's if else is easier to use, you can go with that one.
Also an exam is fine.
Huh?
Also an exam.
I said this 6.2 is not, you're not covering it, right? I'm just giving you the brief. Dot break, dot continue. You see, these are the same instructions. And also, what this one will do, dot repeat, dot until Cx is equal to 0. Okay? So there are a lot of instructions in the section, but we will skip it. We go to the next section, and this is on procedures. Okay, we have discussed slightly the procedure. Now, recall what is the meaning of the function in the computer programming. Function is a small program, right? We always call it in the main program. This is what we do in the computer programming, C++ or C. So in this assembly, if we have a main program, our functions are called
Procedures.
procedures. Okay? Some books write subroutines, but it is the idea remains the same, like a function. So the definition is the same. A procedure is a segment of a program that can be called in the main program any point in the main program, right? How this works in the main program, we always use call. Whenever we call, we ask for the function, we will say call, and then the procedure name. In the procedure, the last instruction is always return, which means return to the main program. Okay? Return to the main program. So call return is the structure of the procedure. Call is used in the main program, return is used in the procedure.
Like near and far, yeah?
And near and far is in both. So call is you want, so whenever the assembler will see call, this means you are jumping to the procedure. When it sees in the procedure the line return, that means the function is finished, the procedure is finished. Go back to the instruction after the call. Okay? So this is the call is in the main program. Whenever you see call, you will immediately know this is the main program. When you see return, this means it is a procedure. Now, if this procedure is stored in the same memory segment like main, both are in the same segment, then we call it near procedures. If this procedure is stored in another segment different than the main program, then we call it for procedures. Like we were saying week before, intra-segment jump, inter-segment jump. Jumping in the same segment or jumping outside the segment. Here the same thing. Call, procedure is in the same segment, near means. Call, if for, that means procedure is another segment. Okay, I told you procedure always starts with this one, and the last line is this one. Okay. Now this is called the director because procedure does not have any other meaning. There is no calculation, right? But return has some command. Return means go back to the. It has a meaning, right? Go back to the main program. So here, after pros, we always write either near or. So this means we are telling the assembler this procedure will be stored. If I write near, it will be stored in the same segment with the main. If I write far, it will be stored another segment. Okay, I'll show you the examples. And then before this one, the name of the procedure. Before this one and here it starts with it stops here and procedure the name. This is how we write the procedures. Name, for example, I'm calling the square procedure. Okay, so this will be square. So when assembler is assembling this code, it will see square, it will say it is a procedure to be stored in same segment or the outside segment. Whenever it sees SQR entry, that means there is nothing below this one. So these are two directives. This is the instruction. This is not an instruction. This is director, this is director. Header and footer like that. Okay. So why we have a near and a far procedure? Two different. Sometimes we write functions only for our main program. Sometimes we write functions for many programs. So if we write for many programs, we will store it in the outside segment because other programs can access it. Global. So these are called global procedures, far procedures, right? The ones which are local, this means that they are being used for the current main program, right? Example now. You see this is the main and the procedure. And the name instead of square, I am saying procedure A. Okay? See what is happening now. Microprocessor starts executing the instruction. Whenever it is the call procedure A, it will go to the procedure A. Okay? And then it will execute those instructions. Whenever it will see return, it will go to the instruction after the call in the main program. Then continue it. Again it sees the call procedure A, goes back again to the procedure A. And then whenever it sees return, it will go back here. This is how the call and the return work together, right? Okay, now here is the issue which needs to be understood. When it sees the return, there are two calls here, right? There may be three, there may be four calls. If it is return, how it will know I have to go here or anywhere else?
Do you have to mention the name?
There is no command here after return. Your point concern is valid. How the microprocessor will know when it sees the return, it has to go here or it has to go here, because this is also saying call procedure A, this one is also saying call procedure A. So where to go?
But already we done because we.
How this you are saying how the microprocessor will know? It only sees RET. Return, but where? There are many calls in the main program, right? So where to go? So that's why when we were saying call and return, they have something special together. Okay, we always said when it is return, it will go to the instruction after the call. How it will know which instruction after the call? The only identity we always have to talk about is the address, right? So this means whenever we will say call, we will save the address. We will save the address.
Okay.
We save the address, then jump to the procedure. When it sees the return, we read the address and come back here.
Okay.
This is how the microprocessor does. How it will save the address? So whenever it's a call, it will just say push IP. Push means right into the stack. Whenever it will say return, it means pop IP. This is the one.
Okay.
Are you getting the point now? So this means this is important. This is how the microprocessor know where to go. Remember, just by reading any instruction, we have said before, microprocessor already points to the next instruction. So when it reads call, IP is already here. Next instruction, right? So when it is next instruction, so what will happen? We will say push IP, call means push IP. So this address will be stored in the stack. When we do finish this thing, then we say return, which will mean pop IP. So whatever is the address we stored in the stack, it will read that address, and now we know what is the IP. So now again, now here comes my question once I've asked you. If it is near, what will happen? Near, what is near? Call. That means we are
Inside the
procedure is in the same segment, right? What do we mean if it is in the same segment? Does the base address change?
No, just
No, only the IP changes, right? So whenever this procedure is near and we say call, we will only save IP, push IP, because return will be pop IP. If it is for procedure,
all others.
that means we have to go outside the segment. Now we need to know the base address also, right? So we will save both. We will save both IP and CS of this segment. So return will do pop both CS and IP, because we want to know the original segment also. So we need also the base address. This is what we are talking about here. If it is a intra-segment call, which is near, only IP, right?
Yes.
Push IP means value of SP is decremented by 2 and IP is saved on the stack. Once we save it, then it jumps to, after saving the return address, then jump to procedure. This is what you see. The first two is push IP, then go to the procedure. What will happen if it is an inter-segment call for SP is decrement 2, then IP is saved and also the CS. Both we will save it. Then jump to the procedure. The return is the opposite, pop. Okay? Now, here comes the example. Here comes the example. Only one part. The first one. By saying call, we save the address onto the stack, right? Exactly, this is what you see. This is a program now. You don't know what is in the program, but only structure is shown. It says call, right? And the label of the procedure is sub1. Where is sub1? Sub procedure, it can be near, it can be far, and when it is returned, we are coming back to the instruction after the call. What are the IP and CS? They are given here. If you can calculate from IP is 0102, CS is 500, right? And when we say after call, we will be pushing on the stack. SS and SP is also given, right? Everything is defined. Now let's take the near case. What will happen in the near case? If we say call and we are going to the near procedure, what I will be saving onto the stack?
Only IP.
Only IP. What is the value of IP? 0102. Near call. What is the stack? SS is 0, SB is 2001. If you calculate the physical address, what will be physical address?
2000.
Shift by 0, 8, 2001. So we are at 2001, right? Decrement by 2, correct?
Yes.
And I'm saving 01, 02. 01 is higher, 02 is lower. We saved the IP address. Is it clear? If it is 4, then with call what will be storing? Saving IP as well as CS. We have both values given. So if it is for call, same stack 2001, decrement by 2, decrement by 2. One value for CS, one value for IP. You see here 0102, then 0005. 0201 is here, and 0050 is this one. This is what happens. We don't have to do it, microprocessor automatically does it with call. Takes the address and save them on the stack. Return again automatically, it will go to the stack and do the pop, so that it can come back where is the instruction. Is it clear now? Okay. Examples now. To do this whole exercise, to make the concept of saving this address and jumping to the procedure. Exactly it is shown here. What is the case? Near call, right? This is the instruction of the program. Address is increasing in this direction, right? It's increasing in this direction. Call 0F, FF. 0F is higher, FF is lower, right? Now if call after call we have, how many bits is this one?
2.
2 bytes, right? 16 bits. If it is only 16 bits, is it near or far?
Near.
Because IP is only 16 bit. If you say IP and CS, that means 16 bit and 16 bit, which is 32, right? So this is a near 0FFF. Now so if I say call, what will be the address? The next instruction, right? What is the next instruction after this call? What is the address of it? 10003. IP is, because it has base address and IP, right? So you see IP is 3. So first thing is, when it is a near call, push IP. Take this IP, store it on the stack. What is the stack? Before call. SS is 8000 and SP is 4Fs. Calculate the physical address. Shift by 0 and add 4Fs. You will get A 4Fs, right? What is the rule? Decrement by 2. Correct? And then store what? What is the value? 03 is lower, 00 is higher. 00 is higher, 03 is lower. IP is stored on the stack. So once this return address is stored, what is the next step? Jump to the procedure, right? How do we jump to the procedure? We have said call 0FFF, right? So we have given the address. Okay? What is the next address? 3, because base address, this is near call, so base address will be the same, right? From here, next address is 3 plus 0Fs, right? This we did it also with jump. So what is the current address after reading? This one, right? 10003, correct?
The previous IP. This is the access line.
Is 3. 3 plus 0FFF. What will happen? Add them, right?
2.
F plus 3 is 2, carry 1, 1 plus f is 0, carry 1, 1 plus f is 0, carry 1, this is 1, 1, 1, 0, 0 is 2. You see here arrow, where it is jumping, double 1, 0, 0, 2. This is the beginning of the procedure.
Okay.
Is concept clear now, how the call is working, right? How about for call? Now you see after call, there are two values. 0002, 1100, IP and CS. Okay? So what is the first thing to be done? Before jumping to the procedure, save the return address. What is the address here? 10005. 5. You see here, 5 is IP and 1000 is the CS. That value is to be stored on the stack, both of them, because this is a for call. So go to the stack 8000FF. This is the beginning. Decrement by 2 and decrement by 2. Two values, right? 0005, 1000. Both values have been stored now. Return address.
Sir, we should push IP first or CS?
Actually, since these are 4 here, right? Decrement by 4 and then IP and CS. And if you are starting from here, CS and then IP. First you decrement by 2, write CS. Decrement by 2, write IP.
And push CS first.
Push CS and then push IP. Okay, after doing this one, next step is what? After I save this address, what is the next step? Go to the procedure, right? Since it is a for call, both values are given. 11000002. IP and CS both are given. Calculate the address. 1100 shift by 0 and then 002, right? 0002. So this is the CS, this is the IP. So 11002. This is the program where it is jumping. 11002 procedure. Is it clear now? What will be the return? Mere return. We did it before. What was the return?
We have to
What is the action here? Return.
back to the
Leave
main
the
program,
address.
which is for
Go back to the main program. What will the microprocessor will do?
read.
Read the address.
Read the address.
Pop, right?
Yes.
Exactly, this is what you see. Whenever it sees the return, what is on the stack? IP, right? Because this is a near. IP, calculate the physical address. This is 0003 and come back here. You see how it goes now to the procedure and comes back to the main program. Now, we have it here. Let me, since we are discussing procedures in detail as a concept, we should be knowing all that. So now we know call and return is as a task. Call means save the return address and jump to the procedure. Return will say go to the stack and read the address. This is what we learned. Now here comes the point. How many registers we have?
14.
Total 14, right? In the 8086 model, the real board, 14 registers. Which ones we use as a user?
Segment.
Which ones we don't use? Do we use
SR?
segment registers? Because they always contain the base addresses. So we don't touch those 4 segment registers. We never touch also the IP because IP contains the address offsets. We do not touch the flex also. So 6 registers are gone out of 14. Remaining are
Data register.
8 out of 14, right? Now if I'm all using here 8, which register I can use them here? If I want to read or store some values, What shall I do it here? Because there are only 8. If I've already used them here in the main program, what will I do in the
I
procedure?
will use memory.
Always memory takes time. So there are ways to handle that thing. This is the next slide says, when calling a procedure, it is almost always necessary to save registers. If I'm using 1 and my procedure always uses that AX, it's better I save AX first, then reuse the AX. When I'm going back, restore the AX. The purpose is, if I save the value of AX, now AX is free, right? I can use it. This is the idea. Whenever you go to the procedure, always save the registers. How do you save the registers?
We put them
What?
in dummy.
You move the registers into memory, right? Or other way is push the register and at the return you say pop. Okay, automatically saving them and reading them. So this is one way to do that thing. Now see the example. What is happening on the left one? Let's say it is the main because it contains the call, right?
Okay.
You see the second instruction call, so this is a main program. And you see here, before call, I have AX register, and after the call, I need the original value of AX, right? So this means AX is important for me, correct?
Yes.
Now, if I say call and come back, go here, can I use AX? If I use AX, I will be losing this value. That's why you see the first one is push AX and before return, pop AX. So this is a good practice. Save the registers. Okay, another example. Here you see one big program and this one is calling get all, it is also calling print all. 2 procedures, right? Now you see the main. Before call I have DX, after call I also have DH. Now you see on the procedure I am doing push DX and before return of DX. Come back to the next one. This is the call print on. Again I am using DX, so you see here still again using push DX and pop DX. This is the recommendation. Instead of push and pop, you can use other registers. Move to a memory, it's okay. But this is the standard practice. Now, here comes the, so this was a concept that we use push and pop. But then again comes the difficulty. If I'm using all registers, what will I do? I will do A to push here and A to pop here, right? Because there are 8 registers I can use. 8 registers here, 8 to push and 8 to pop. It becomes tedious, right? But this, as a principle, it is correct. Principle, it is correct. Before the procedure, you should have push instructions. Before return, you should have pop instructions. But then the developers found, I will come back to this program, another way, easier way instead of avoiding many push and many pop. You see the last procedure, what does it say? Substance 3 procedure near, what does it say now? Use BX, CX, DX. That means all these registers are free. So automatically microprocessor, what is the other one apart from this one? It will automatically aid push and pop. So what we have to do, only write here, use in the header. So instead of saying 8 push and 8 pop, this is better. Use. Is there another way? You have learned it. Instead of doing output, push A. Remember, push A. So this is another way, pushing all registers, right? So that's why these instructions came. Why there is push A and pop A. Okay? Do I have example? Here. No. In this one, this example here, you see the procedure. Square is the name of the procedure. Prop here, you see push A, pop A, right? Return. So this is the example of a procedure. And we did this push A and pop A. Now there is another. So what we learned now, so far, summary. Whenever there will be a call, return address will be saved on the stack, then jump to the procedure. When the procedure finishes, we go back as a pop to the main program, right? Before return and beginning instruction should be with push to save the registers. Okay? Now there is another thing. Remember in chapter 5, we discussed that whenever there will be arithmetic and logic instructions, flags will be affected, right?
Yes.
Remember? So if before call I have an arithmetic instruction or logic and my flags are affected, now I go back here, I have an arithmetical logic, my flags will be updated, right? When I come back here, do I have the original flags?
No.
No.
So what we do now, this is another thing with the procedures. Also again do the same thing. Push flags, pop flags. So here comes the rule now. In the procedures, we will say here, push A, pop A, and then push F, and this is now the final structure. So you should know why we are using push A and push F.
Don't we
Push
have-
A is the saving all registers. Now I can use all registers here. The procedure, right? And in order to avoid updating the flags, I save the flags here, whatever I had it here, and then return it back to the flags. Yes, now you question.
Don't we have to consider the arrangement? So you push the registers.
We
Then you
always
have
do
to-
the reverse one, right? Whatever is on, when we say push, it is on top, right? So when I pop, this will be the first one to do. So this, the last one, it is the first one. Okay? So here, next point was saving the flags, which we know, right? Push F and pop F. Is this the last slide? Yeah, so here is the one here. So just to practice. These are the flags 00C3. Before push, this is the memory. After push, this is the memory. What is the stake? Current stake given is 2001, right? This is the top of the stack now. First, decrement by 2 whenever I will be saying push F, right? Decrement by 2 and then write 00 C3. C3 is lower, 00 is higher. I jump here, C3 lower and at higher address I have 00. I can also have, if I'm working with the protected mode, I will be doing here. So the structure of the procedures in protected mode remains the same. Whether it is real mode or the protected mode, the only thing is registers become double size. Okay? That's it. We will know most of the instructions of this chapter are complete, and we will continue with this one on Wednesday and finish the chapter. Are the exams still on?